Straight from the edge, it's time for some daytime drama. Over on Y&R, Phyllis has bumped into Kevin a couple times. Once at Crimson Light and now at Society, and both times he's been a little flighty with her, and she knows that something's up. She's known Kevin forever, and they've done con jobs together, and she's picking up on the fact that he'd kidnapped her, and so he ends up walking over next to her, and she smells the cologne that he's got on, and she realizes that her captor had the same cologne, and she's like, "It's you, Kevin! Like, you're the one who kidnapped me." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And she tries to corner him on it, and he's like, "Well, this is the new, I think he said Jabot Collective cologne. A lot of guys have this. You should check on Adam's cologne and see if it's the same." But she's like, like, "I got my eyes on you." And a fun little scene. I mean, these two actors haven't been together in a long time, so they were definitely playing off each other really well. And I'm looking forward to seeing more what Michelle Stafford has, in her wheelhouse of fun to interact with all these different actors. So very exciting there. So Kevin, he made good on delivering dirt about Nick to Adam, and basically he found the footage of Nick wearing the JT mask and then pulling it back and revealing to his father that that JT wasn't alive, but he is. And so this was on the Dark Horse servers, and Nick didn't seem concerned about it, so Adam, of course, went right away over to Dark Horse and had Nick come there, and Nick's like, "This doesn't matter, like, the police know about this," and Adam's kind of threatening, like saying, "Well, I might send it to, out on social media and see what people think of that," and but basically he's saying, "I've won, give me Christian," and Nick's just totally not backing down at this point, even though they could have come to some arrangement where they were sharing time with each other, but of course Adam is going about it all the wrong way to not really get what he wants. But as soon as they're just both right up at each other, Chelsea walks right in the room, and they're both like, "Whoa," like they didn't expect her to be there. Nick is the one that let her know, obviously, that Adam was trying to get Christian, and so she's coming there to try to quell tensions and at the same time tell Adam that it's over. And Adam asked Nick to leave, and he's like, "No, hell no." And she said, "I can handle this," and reluctantly Nick walked off, and he went down, and he ended up running into Phyllis at Society, and he's kind of going through all this, and even though he's mad at Phyllis, he does come to her sometimes for advice on, like, how these things play out, and then her involvement, obviously, going back with Chelsea's hiding that Christian's paternity, and basically she brought up how she wanted to conceal it, and of course Sharon was wanting to give up the information before she got whacked over the head by Chelsea, and so she's really reminding Nick, like, you can't trust Chelsea, and her true love is Adam, and you're just going to get banged up in all this. But she's happy that Chelsea's in town because basically it's going to draw away some of this negativity that the town has towards her and put it on Chelsea and Adam. So going to be some fun stuff there. So Chelsea, and Adam head back to his penthouse, and he's like all excited because she's back and saying, they're going to be together and to get Connor back. And she's like, "There's no way, it was hard enough to get over you the first time. I can't do this." And Adam is like, he's already getting rejected, getting Christian back, and now he's going to lose Connor, and he's just, he's going to have to go through more probably self-reflection and go about getting his kids back in a different kind of way that's not bullheaded, and try to show that he is changed and that he's essentially deserving of them giving him second or third, whatever, chance, and allow them an opportunity to see that these are his kids, and that he should be in their life. And Nick is going to come around at some point to seeing this, considering Adam, when he was in jail, had entrusted Nick to watch them in his absence. And so, you know, Nick needs to realize that this needs to reverse a little bit. And so going forward, you know, Chelsea's going to be back. There's just no way he's not going to, you know, get her to see that, you know, they're star-crossed lovers or whatever. And it's going to be exciting, though. So Devon, you know, he's packing up Hilary's stuff, and I really don't think this is the best approach, considering these memories can be boxed away and kept maybe in a closet or at a storage facility. He's deciding to just go ahead and like donate all of her dresses and different items that, you know, have memory and sentimental value. And even the GC Buzz DVDs, I hope he does save that. But, you know, he could offer Shauna or his niece, Maddie, that, you know, is there something you're interested in of hers? And try to keep it, you know, in the family, or, you know, auction some of the stuff off for a charity that Hilary would have wanted to go to. So I really think it's a little bit of a misstep here, but he's trying to figure out to weave through this when everyone's putting a lot of pressure on him to move on. And, you know, he's not exactly ready, but, you know, Elena's really been the most supportive, saying basically, you know, this is his timetable, and she's not trying to bury anything that Hilary is. She's very interested in knowing, you know, the stories that he has to tell about her. So, you know, she's been the most supportive, and he's going to turn to her. Obviously, he's in love with her too. So, anyway, over on GH, Mac is back, and you know he's been asked to step in for Jordan Ashford because you know, she just had the kidney surgery, and so she needs to recover. And so he's in there as a temporary police commissioner, and he couldn't have come at a more perfect time. I mean, right off the bat, Chase, you know, he's got his coffee ready for him, and some little pastry or sausage or something. And you know, Mac's like, you know, why are you trying to butter me up here? And you know, I know your girlfriend's down in lockup, but not quite sure what I can do about that. And you know, they're going through the judge and different things that Maxie had dealings with him. And you know, he's trying to figure out how to help, but in all this, you know, the bad Donna Day police officer from Beecher's Corner shows up, and he's looking for Jason Morgan. And so, you know, Max obviously dealt with Jason countless times over the years, and so he's like, well, do you have an APB out in him? What's the problem? And you know, the guy basically says that he arrested Jason for kidnapping, and you know, Max like, it's not adding up because Jason's not, you know, stupid and doesn't do things that would lead to an easy arrest. And so he's not buying the story. And then the guy says, well, I can't even give you the victim's name. And then Mac's like, well, you don't even have anything here. And he's like, well, there's this drunk guy in the tank with him, and he says I could identify him if I saw him. And then the next moment, you see Michael walk in. He's go, that's him right there. And Mac's just looking like, seriously, like Michael Corinthos, Quartermain, you know, like, there's no way, you know, but really he does know that Michael's involved with Jason, but he's doing what he can to get this guy to back off. And Michael, you know, says, you know, he wasn't there, and you know, he's explaining who he is and whatnot, and he's like, I know that's him. He's all cleaned up, but that's him. And so at some point, the guy's like, well, I'll call the FBI, and then Mac pulls the phone over, and he's like, go ahead. And just like playing chicken, like, put it all on the table here, you know. And then Chase, you know, even though this is kind of basically dealt with, he steps in to corroborate Michael's story and be an alibi for him. And the guy basically says that he wants Jason, and he wants Mac to get back to him. Mac's like, I'll get back on my damn table. But as soon as that guy leaves, you know, Mac knows the down low without even having to say anything. He's just years of experience here. And he pulls Michael and Chase over, and he's like, so, you know, you guys weren't together, right? And Michael goes into explaining the dawn of day and the cult, and basically the blackmail ring, you know, operations going on. And of course, Mac's up to speed on this a little bit, and from his other dealings. And so, you know, but he's saying to Chase, you know, don't be doing this again. You know, this is a warning. And but it was just funny because Michael they have that kind of relationship where he gives them all the info that they need, because they're going to need to take down this cult ring, you know, all over the place. And you know, this is Rico, all sorts of different ways you can go about it. But of course, Mac's kind of like, I need somebody to like be the district attorney because, you know, it's vacant right now. And so meanwhile, you know, Laura and Robert were having a conversation about basically, you know, Robert's been let go, and so he needs a new job, and he's been talking with the governor, and basically he's going to be the new DA, and you know, he has a law degree, and so, you know, the two brothers, the Scorpio brothers, back together again, and you know, they're going to clean house. The two of them have so much experience in bringing down corrupt people. This is setting up to be one of the most exciting storylines. And this episode, just in general, had so much stuff to pull it all together. And just watching, you know, all these interactions with people, a lot of fun. Meanwhile, Sam and Jason are hiding out at a safe house while this blows over, because, of course, Jason, you know, his cover's kind of blown and all this. And, you know, they're having kind of a little breakfast, and they're in their pajama, you know, comfy, I don't know, leggings and joggers or whatever. And just usually they're not able to kind of let back and let loose and enjoy each other's time together. And so, you know, they're just sitting across the table, you know, eating and talking with each other, and just a lot of little moments that they haven't been able to have lately with all this crap going on. And so, you know, he's saying, you know, he needs to get a second witness, and she's like, no, you put your life on the line 2 times already in the last 24 hours, and there's just no way. And she was the getaway car for Michael and Jason, which was awesome. And so she's saying, you know, well, my undercover skills can go a long way here. And so he's still trying to like go out the door, and he's like, what are you going to do? And basically, you know, she's like, gets up, almost like, kind of blocks him from the door, and, you know, wrestles him over to the bed. You know, what is she going to tie him up? You know, you're not allowed to leave. And, you know, they have this just hot, sexy little lead up to, you know, probably a sex scene in the next episode. But just the two of them together, you know, it's just basically magic in how they know how to play off of each other. Yeah, it's just very exciting. One of the best GH episodes, just with so much compact into one episode. Over on Bold, it appears that Liam is not probably going to die from this. It is a roofie, it looks like. And, you know, Thomas is watching, kind of seeing how it's going to play out with, I guess, his behavior. Because he's already starting to act all loopy. Liam's starting to act all loopy when they get back from the beach. The girls are getting put down for a nap. And, you know, he's getting all excited and starting to drink a little bit more. And he wants to put on music, and he starts dancing with Steffy. And basically, you know, Steffi's enjoying the loose, you know, kind of, where he's just going with the flow. And she likes that aspect of Liam. And she's just got a little smile, you know, going on. And Hope's watching this like, something's really off with him. He doesn't seem right. And, you know, you got Thomas there like, you know, in the background. And basically, Liam, you know, he's been bottling up all of these emotions of wanting to feel better. And, you know, having that roofie really set all this off for him, where he feels like, wow, let's just be happy and all this sort of stuff. And that corks off to let the emotions out. And, you know, Hope's having none of it, because she is not over Beth, and he isn't either, but he's really tired of being sad, and he's getting an opportunity to let it out with this roofie or whatever. So, you know, he's trying to get the girls out to dance with him, and Steffy, like, backs him down, like, no, 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 hold on, hold your horses. And Hope's like, I got to get out of here. And she leaves with Douglas and Thomas. And Thomas just like, yeah, this is my plan. And, you know, he's up to no good. Obviously, he's gotten Emma killed. So, I mean, hopefully Liam is just roofied here and it's nothing more. But you also, through all this, basically, they went back, Hope and Thomas, and you know, he's playing into her imagination about what they might be up to, and just putting little breadcrumbs. And you know, they are doing what she's thinking. You know, Steffy sends Liam upstairs, and then she goes up to check on him, and you know, he's getting all playful with her and saying, you know, what a beautiful person she is on the inside, you know, primarily, and he can see all of these different aspects of, you know, personality, and he just, you know, he's showing what he feels, but he's not been able to express, considering he just got his marriage annulled, and you know, he wouldn't have moved this fast had this roofie not happened. But you know, he starts to kiss her a little bit, and then they just go for it, and it looks like they're gonna have, you know, a little bit of a sex scene here in the next episode. But definitely Thomas set this all up to, you know, screw it all up and push people to where he wanted them to be. But yeah, he's just, I guess, of the villain in this, going forward, and hopefully nobody gets seriously hurt, you know, considering what happened to Emma. But anyway, keep on researching.